Good morning to all my wonderful viewers out there, and welcome back to another Streetwear Talk video, the series where I cover the latest streetwear releases, I cover the latest streetwear news, and of course in the series, well, I just discuss anything to do with streetwear or fashion. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be covering the lookbook for the August drop that Fuck the Population released. Or maybe I should just shorten them to FTP for this video, just to make it a little bit easier. I think that's probably going to be the go. But yeah, guys, I know a little bit late, sorry. Better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, the end of August and even the early parts of this month have been quite hectic for me, with a lot going on with my work at the moment. I've moved into a new after-hours role. Over this recent weekend, I've been applying for the role above me. Yeah, just a lot of stuff going on with work at the moment, but hopefully that all kind of just settles down a little bit so I can go back to covering upcoming releases and whatnot, and just covering releases in general. The reason for me still wanting to cover this release, even though it has released, is because of one of you guys. William Herbert left a comment in one of my videos asking for me to cover the FTP drop that was dropping in August, and I said I would do it. I said that it's I can't remember the comment exactly. I can't remember if I let them know that I wasn't going to be able to cover it before the drop actually happened or not. I feel like I conveyed that at some point, but yeah, basically I knew it wasn't going to happen just because of the scheduling and things that I had going on at the time, but I still wanted to cover it at least after it dropped, so you guys can have my thoughts and opinions on all the pieces that released in the season, or at least all the pieces that were showcased in the lookbook, because that's what we're gonna be covering today, which is the lookbook for the August 23 drop. We're going to be using the FTP page to cover the drop, go over all the looks, everything like that, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on all the pieces there. We'll head on over there now, and we'll start covering the lookbook for this FTP August 23 drop. So here we are at the lookbook, guys. It does kind of start off as like a video, so I'm gonna have to like cycle through, otherwise it'll do it automatically for me. Let's dive into it. To start off with, we have what looks like some very utilitarian, like Gorp core kind of pieces, like a shell jacket in a way. It has F-Tech and a blue camo applied to the whole thing. It features the FTP logo done as a type of like graphic that looks to be embroidered on the chest there. Two, I assume, pockets up the top here, zip pocket closure for the chest, and more pockets down below. Basically, if you need to store something in the jacket, this jacket's got you covered, and I'm assuming it's a material that's going to be waterproof as well, so it'll keep you nice and dry in those rainy seasons. It has the FTP logo across the crotch here. I mean, it's just got a lot going on. I kind of would have liked just solid colors for this one, and then the focus on the use of the logos, or no use of the logos and then a focus of the camo design. One or the other, not both, essentially. I just think it's a bit too much. But in saying that though, I was always going to come in with like a biased view on this, because I'm not a huge fan of this type of I guess aesthetic and outfit. I wouldn't wear something like this, but I know a lot of you guys out there are big fans of this type of look, so I can understand it if you want to get around it, but just not something for me personally. Moving forward, we have an FTP zip-up hoodie with a lining that has the brand's logo slapped all over it. I kind of like this look. I like the idea of having the brand's logo done as a lining all throughout this zip-up hoodie, and it's just a nice little zip-up hoodie with the brand's logo on the left breast there. I can't complain about that. It's a nice little piece. We've got what looks to be a little graphic tee under here with someone being decapitated with a vinyl. I can get around that. Got a bunch of vinyls myself. Obviously not decapitating myself with one though. Very different, but a fun little t-shirt there. FTP Records. They're kind of making it a graphic t-shirt that's meant to be like a record labels t-shirt or something like that. That's kind of fun. I can get around that. We've got a varsity jacket done in a what looks like a nylon based material, not the traditional wool and leather. So it's probably more of a, I guess some people call them stadium jackets, because these are the types of jackets that will be sold at a stadium, versus a varsity jacket where a varsity jacket is made out of wool and leather and sold at a university or whatnot. So I guess I should probably call it a stadium jacket to be specific, but it features a lot of sports themed logos down the sides of the arm there. Obviously, instead of sports, it's FTP. It kind of reminds me of like a Jeff Hamilton jacket and how he approached doing like sports patches all down the arms and stuff like that. We can see the F-Tech pants making a reappearance down here. I kind of like the tonal approach. I think the tonal approach of doing the FTP logo in black with the pants in black is a better approach. Maybe they should have done that for the camo stuff here. I feel like that could have worked out a lot better, but maybe I'm just ripping on the F-Tech stuff too much. We've got just a simple pullover hoodie in an orange. It's a bit bright for me, but like give it to me in a different color and I can't complain about that. We've got what looks to be like a Harrington jacket with like a strip done up the arms with FTP inside the strip there. It's okay. Like, I don't have anything against it. I just kind of wish that I probably would have approached this differently personally. I wouldn't mind like the color of the jacket with an orange strip along the sides of the arm of it, but I don't know if I would have put FTP inside of that strip. I maybe would have just put it on the pocket I can see on the left breast there. We've got a little graphic shirt underneath there. That's a fun little graphic shirt. We've got a beanie. Not really too keen on the beanie, but the graphic shirt is a nice little piece here. I definitely feel like the brand works quite well with its graphic tees for skaters and BMXers and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like the pieces that work for their target audience definitely work, but it's when they go into pieces outside that target audience, I feel like it's either going to be a hit or a miss with the brand, but that's just how I feel. It says fuck off and die on the back of the piece there. Yeah, it's tough because something like this could be perceived as like really edgy, and I guess if it all depends on your persona, because if you've got like a very skater aesthetic to you or a BMXer like aesthetic to you, you're all about riding and things like that, something like that could be perceived as quite cool. But then depending on how you are, if you're not either of those two things, it could be perceived as a little bit cringy. That's how I view it, at least. It all depends on the person that wears this type of piece, I suppose, is the message I'm trying to get across with it. We've got a hoodie with various different firearms and the silhouettes of all those firearms showcased on it. I think this is probably the best piece that I've seen so far. It's a nice like navy wash with it being quite washed out. The black outline on all of this and the weapons traveling up the hoodie there. I think this is a nice little piece, although it does scream like, how do I put it? Like streetwear brand startup hoodie version 1. You know what I mean? Like every single streetwear brand that I see starting up on Instagram has a hoodie like this. So it's a cool idea, but I've seen it being done like 100 times by other streetwear brands. So if you like FTP hoodies and you like the quality of FTP hoodies, this is the hoodie to grab. But the design itself, I'm like, I've seen this quite a bit. But it's like, I gotta say, like, it's a nice little one here. Maybe if I can kind of see like a P here. Maybe if oh no, I do see it now. Okay. Maybe if that was a little bit more clear, I can see an F spelt out of various guns here, a T spelt out of 2 guns here, and then a P spelt out of a couple guns here. That wasn't abundantly clear to me initially. Maybe if we made that more apparent, I would have disassociated like the 10,000 other like gun silhouette hoodies that I've seen and seen this one and be like, you know what, this one's a little bit different. Maybe we could have done like the outlining of the guns that spelt the pieces in a different color, just to kind of give it that little bit of a contrast. But it does get a couple more points now that they've designed the graphic to actually spell out the lettering of the brand, but yeah, I'm still on the fence about that. Okay, we've got a nice little pocket tee, FTP on the pocket there. Looks like the Gap logo, which is fun. It's fun when streetwear brands and skating brands reinterpret like famous and iconic brands and redo their logos. I always think that's a fun time. Palace Skateboards does it all the time. Supreme does it all the time. We've got a very shredded denim cap up here. That's okay as well. All over print zip up hoodie. I think that's a bit excessive though. I'm hoping it's reversible and it's just the reversible version of the hoodie we saw before. But if it's a totally different hoodie, I think I prefer the hoodie from before. Just because that one's a lot more subtle and easier to wear. Simple graphic t-shirt. Can't complain about that. Okay, we've got a mohair sweater here. That's kind of fun. I like mohair sweaters. I like the graphics all over it. Yeah, that's cool. It looks like we got a black denim cap as well up here, like a shredded version of the one we saw before. Very washed out though, very washed out black denim. Yeah, that's fine as well. Got a little graphic t-shirt here. I kind of like that actually. I like the well, I shouldn't say graphic t-shirt, a photo t-shirt. I like the photo that they used here. Kind of wish it was maybe just a little bit bigger. The color that it comes in, I probably wouldn't get this salmon color, but if this photo shirt came in like a black or a white, yeah, I could definitely get around something like that. Got the FTP crew neck sweater here. Looks like it's, again, I feel like based off this lettering font style, it feels like the Gap logo again, but I don't know if it specifically is the Gap logo, but it feels like it with its edges to the lettering and things like that. I could be wrong on that. We've got another graphic tee here. Looks like a Public Enemy shout out there. That's kind of fun. I could get around that. I like the, that's actually a cool tattoo idea of having the Public Enemy logo on the back of the hand there. I've always wanted to get Lil Peeps like crying dove or pigeon or whatever bird it is on the back of my hand here. But that has kind of inspired me that a Public Enemy logo on the back of it could be really cool as well. We've got a full sweatsuit there. I think that's a little bit excessive. I have seen Palace Skateboards do like the exact same thing, and I think they probably did it better, but it's kind of hard to see what's going on with how this photo has been shot. That's a lot better. Now I can kind of see what's going on. I like the extra panels along this sweatshirt here. It's just the color as well, but yeah, I have to like, you know, come out and say the panels on the pants and the hoodie, I think those are some nice touches to it for sure. We've got just an all over graphic shirt there, FTP. It's all right. Nothing too crazy there though. We've got, I'm assuming this is because I can see the graphic kind of like peeking over the arm there. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, okay, so this looks like the same t-shirt here. Probably referencing the Zodiac Killer here, I'm assuming, with like the encryption and stuff. I honestly don't know, but I would have liked this on just the front of the shirt and just that, but then it kind of reminds me of like the Clipping album artwork in a way. Yeah, no, I would have liked just a graphic shirt with this kind of stuff on the front of it, in all honesty. We've got a jersey, like a soccer jersey here in a way, FTP logo on the center chest there with some ribbing down the arms and down the sides here. That's a nice little piece. If you're a fan of like sportswear and things like that, that's a nice little piece that you can get. We've got a matching cap by the looks of it as well. Not really my type of thing. Looks like some potentially shorts or pants as well to match. The whole ensemble, not me, but I know a lot of you guys out there like dressing like off-duty soccer players, so maybe you can get around something like that. I know a lot of people like that look for sure. We've got the FTP records again. I like this. I think this is a nice graphic here. Someone being decapitated with the vinyl again. Sign or die. Yeah, I can get around that graphic hoodie. We've got a photo shirt. Someone skating on an FTP board and a photo of them doing a trick on here. I like this. This is a nice t-shirt there for sure. Oh, we got some more F-Tech pieces. Cool. I was wondering if it was going to be the end. No, it's not. Cool. We've got more F-Tech pieces. This is kind of what I was talking about, where it's like a solid color and then the focus is on the logos itself. I think that's well handled. Again, but to cycle back to what I was talking about at the start, if we did the FTP logos tonal like the black ones are, I feel like that would have looked a lot nicer. I'm not saying change these zippers to like yellow as well and this panel here to yellow, but if we did the branding in the same color as the solid color, I feel like that could have been a really nice piece to have in here. Like here as well, like turn the FTP into yellow, but still have the contrasting like black knee panels here. That could have been a really cool piece, but with just like how many black panels there are and everything like that, I feel like it's a bit too much. Just my personal preference there though. We've got either a long sleeve or a crew neck, an F-Tech one. This is kind of cool. I like the crew neck. All matches the pants and the cap as well. Big logo on the back. Looks like we've got a graphic shirt with two little graphics peeking out of the pocket there. That's always fun. Can't go wrong with that. Looks like we got a cap as well with some graphics up there. A duffel bag, very big duffel bag. Another graphic t-shirt. An all-over print beanie. Looks like the same design as the mohair sweater. I think the design was better applied to the mohair sweater though. We got another stadium jacket featuring an arcing logo over the chest here. I'm not a huge fan of that logo. I think it's just a bit too excessive there. It looks like we've got the same type of like graphics and whatnot applied to a t-shirt. Might be leaning more towards the t-shirt in this scenario. Here's all the patches all over it. Look, if they did this stadium jacket with just the patches all over the front and all over the back, very much like a Jeff Hamilton jacket, if they were kind of reinterpreting a Jeff Hamilton jacket, but instead had the FTP patches here, I feel like that could have been a really big hit. I would have really gotten around something like that, but it's the huge logo across the chest that's deterred me, but I really like the back of this piece, and I really kind of wish they continued with the back design on the front. Just my take on it. Like, I literally have just over there in my wardrobe a stadium jacket from Jeff Hamilton with this exact design, but obviously sports logos instead, and I think that piece works really well, and I feel like we could have done really well with that here as well. And then we're back to the start. Okay guys, well that is my thoughts and opinions on the August 23 drop for FTP. I had lots to say, there was lots to cover. The things that really spoke to me from this lookbook, I would say, were the graphic and photo t-shirts. I think FTP did a really good job here in this drop with those types of things. I feel like with the outerwear pieces that are outside the, I guess, the norms of what their like skater audience wears or their like streetwear audience wears, I feel like we went a little bit too logo heavy, and we could have done it a little bit more subtly and made it a lot more I guess low key and a lot more interesting that way. That's just my thoughts though, but I think the graphic tees, the graphic hoodies, those pieces were fun. I was happy to see a mohair sweater. I think that was an awesome avenue for them to go down. I wish that they did more knit sweaters and mohair sweaters and stuff like that, because I love those like knit textured sweaters. The hats weren't doing too much for me in this drop. The pants weren't doing too much for me, but there were some nice pieces here and there, most definitely. But yeah, I guess that's everything I really have to say about it. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on any of the looks here, any of the pieces kind of showcased here. Let me know how you feel about anything that's kind of been showcased here in this lookbook down in that comment section below. And that's everything I have to really say about that August 23 lookbook, guys. I hope that you enjoyed me covering that lookbook today, and if you'd like me to cover any other like lookbooks for past seasons, like other brands, things like that, I'm very happy to do that. I'm always looking to cover various other releases and things like that. Like, I've been tempted to go back to the Sakai Carhartt WIP collaboration from like fall winter 23, because I really just want to go back and talk about that, because there's some awesome pieces in that. But yeah, like, you know, that you can always go back. I mean, I really should be covering the latest releases. I need to cover the Carhartt WIP collaboration with Palace, or I should say work in progress, but again, it's like FTP. I don't want to say the full thing, because then I'm going to say the full thing. But yeah, lots of things to cover. Very keen to cover more things. I'd love to hear from you guys if you bought anything from this FTP August 23 drop. What did you grab? I could understand like the graphic t-shirts and stuff like that, or the photo t-shirts. I could definitely get around something like that. But yeah, let me know if you did pick up anything, if you were able to pick up anything, because I know that they sell out quite quickly. Let me know what you grabbed down in that comment section below. And of course, if you guys want me to keep covering further FTP drops, further streetwear releases, you got to give me the 3 indicators I won't shut up about, which is a like on this video, a comment in that comment section down below, and if you haven't already, the best indicator that you can give me is a subscribe to the channel. As mentioned in previous uploads, we're trying to hit the subscriber milestone of 10 subscribers. 3,710 subscribers before the end of September. Hopefully with your guys' continuous support, we can reach 3,710 before the end of the month. But that is everything I got to say about this FTP drop. It was very fun to cover this drop, guys. I'm keen to cover further drops as well if I can get them covered before they actually release. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But until the next FTP video, until the next Streetwear Talk video, until the next drop list video in general, guys, I'll catch you later.